29 minutes to 9 o'clock, and it's time for your health. The festive season is here. Christmas and New Year holidays are fast approaching for many. This is the season to eat, drink, have fun, and be merry. Festive indulgence is at its peak. The urge to loosen the belt a little and enjoy the treats that the season has to offer is just irresistible. It is estimated that 80% of people will gain an average of 2 kilograms of extra body weight over the festive period. But eating mindfully can help you enjoy the experience of eating and can also help you prevent overindulgence. And to give us insight on this is how to eat smart this festive season is Kate Kimara, and a clinical nutritionist and also the founder of Kate Organics. You're also a colon hydrotherapist. That's the one I was looking for. Good morning, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me here.
All right, now, this, of course, is a season where many want to enjoy and be merry. And I think part of enjoyment, honestly speaking, has got to involve food. Without food, that enjoyment is not quite there. But now, how to do this and remain healthy is the balance. How do we get that balance?
Exactly. This is a season where it's all about food, having fun. Even if you are on a diet, even if you're trying to keep healthy, sometimes it becomes very difficult just to, follow what you've been doing, the program and all that. And it's all about having fun. So I think the main thing is to come up with a plan, a strategy of if I've been eating healthy throughout the year, or if I do not want to add these extra kilos, like you've just said, about two or more.
An average of 2 kilos.
Yes, yeah. So what do I need to do? And I think coming up with a plan is what works. I think even as of now, because Christmas is on, I think even the festivities have started.
Yes.
You need to have started planning even way before the Christmas day.
Hopefully it's not too late now to
No,
plan.
it's not too late. So we can start with something like you start eating well. You're eating well in anticipation that during this time
you may go a bit overboard.
So you're at least preparing your body, you're at least preparing yourself. You're still continuing eating well until that day when something may happen, when you eat less of what you like, or you won't be able to follow your program. But coming up with a plan that is realistic and something that you'll be able to follow. Remember, you'll be up and down. You'll be invited for so many activities and parties. You'll also be hosting a lot of things. You'll be eating foods that you've not eaten for a long time. So coming up with a plan is what works. And I think the best thing is if you're on a diet, for example, if you're someone who's really watching your weight, this is the time where you're actually just maintaining it.
Okay, so are you suggesting then that possibly in anticipation of those 2 kilograms, should I try and plan to lose the 2 now and gain them then?
No, you're not losing. You're just eating healthy. I think it's easier if now you start, maybe you're drinking lots of water. If you've not been doing this earlier on, you're taking a lot of salads, you're just eating healthy. You just change that. You're going to eat well in anticipation that towards this time or during Christmas, if it's that day or the big party that you're waiting for, you may overindulge. So I think in anticipation to this, you're supposed to kind of prepare your body. And then when you get to that, the harm won't be as much than if you've been eating unhealthy throughout, and then it comes to this day when, or this period when you're still going to eat these foods that are not high in calories and all this sugary stuff that we take. But I think planning is what works. And there's simple things that you can do that can actually help you not add so much or maintain this weight. And the first tip I was saying is that do not diet during this time. If you're someone,
do not diet?
Yes, if you're someone who was trying to lose weight and you think, oh, I need to continue taking my salads in the morning, it will be impossible to do it. Maybe you can give your body a break. And by giving your body a break, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to eat everything that is offered. What are the tips that you can do? First, do not skip meals. Or do not stay hungry. Most of the time we know, oh, I'm going to have this huge lunch. I have 3 parties, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so I won't eat in my house in anticipation to eat where I'm getting to. And I think that's one of a major problem that you're going to make when it comes to adding this weight. Because if you're going to stay hungry for a long time, first and foremost, when you get now to these festivities buffets there, you'll now tend to eat these foods that are really rich in fat.
Right.
The sugary ones will be more hungry. So I think if you continue eating and preparing to eat in advance. Even at your home, you take breakfast as usual. Do not skip breakfast. You're not skipping any lunch in anticipation.
Yes, because the tendency sometimes that since I'm going for a goat eating thing, let me not even take breakfast. When I get there, I'll do enough damage.
I need to stay hungry until that time. And of course, unfortunately, you may take too much than you need at that time. And of course, eating a huge meal at one particular time does not work in keeping you healthy, won't improve your digestion, does not work with your energy levels. So do not skip meals as you get into that.
Maybe it might help to know what damage do we potentially do to ourselves health-wise when we just go overboard, because there could be the effect. There could be that effect of adding the 2 kilos, but maybe losing that 2 kilos for some may not even be a huge thing. But is there potential damage that we're possibly doing to even our system within that period that we can avoid? That if we understand now, then it helps us just psychologically know, I really don't want to do that just for the sake of 2 weeks to have done damage.
Yes, of course, if you take more than the body needs, there's damage that you create, and unfortunately, we don't see it when you're doing it at that particular time. It always, the effects show after a period of time. So you'd know that if you're even if you're eating extra portions, you're taking foods that are high in calories. I'm looking at foods that are greasy, foods that are fatty, foods that are creamy. And then sometimes we eat too much, not because you're hungry, you're just eating because the food is there, it's being served, and everyone else is eating. And the occasion is all around food. So you end up adding a lot of fat, you'll have a lot of sugar in your body, you'll have a lot of all these things, unwanted things, and unfortunately, anything that is excess in your body is stored as is converted into glycogen, and then this glycogen is converted into fat. And this excess energy that you keep taking, this excess food that you keep taking, the body now quickly turns it into fat because you keep eating, because you have excess energy that you're not using either to exercise or to walk around, because you're still not doing so much during this time. So the damage of adding this weight and so much more, maybe your sugar levels, your blood glucose may be higher. You'll now start adding weight. If you had a condition, maybe these small bitings of unhealthy foods will interfere with you managing this condition that you had. So I think it's a matter of controlling, especially working on the portions. You can eat what you love. There is no problem. You can eat, but start with a little bit of everything you love. It doesn't have to be an entire plate. Remember, something that you can trick your mind or your brain. It takes, scientifically, it takes about 20 minutes for your brain to alert you that you're full. And when you're full, of course, you eat less. So if you start with that meal and you eat it slowly, within 20 minutes, you're chatting, you're talking, there's so much activities going on. You find that within 20 minutes, you'll have eaten. Full. Yes, you're actually full and you've eaten less. But something that you can do beforehand, when you go to that buffet, what can you serve first? You don't start with the, like the nyama choma that was there, or the deep fried stuff that is there. Start with food that are filling, food that you'll eat less, and by the time you get now to this main meal, you'll actually eat less than what you anticipated. You talk about something like starting with salads, vegetables and fruits, high in fiber. And fiber is what the insoluble fiber actually keeps you full. And then you also need the soluble fiber, the one that will help with digestion. We find
which are some of those insoluble fibers?
Things like when you take anything like pectin in apples, any fruits and vegetables have both soluble and insoluble fiber. So if you're going to have a combination of this, even whole grains will have this. If you start your meal maybe with a salad, maybe some lettuce, which had some tomatoes, some cucumber, maybe with an avocado. And then on the side, maybe you went for, you took a soup, and maybe a broth-based soup, not the creamy one. Not this one that is just water and it's boiled, meaning it has less fat. So you've taken these 2 portions. As you get now to the main meal, you'll be fuller than if you just went and just served your nyama choma with some ugali and something else.
Dish.
Yes, so this one reduces the quantity of what you're going to eat. Remember at this particular time as well, your body, you're really stressed. You're moving from one point to another. You're hosting parties, you're doing this and that. So you actually need more energy. You also need to have a balanced nutrition. You still need to take your vitamins and minerals, because sometimes we just tend to take the carbohydrates and the fats. So when you start with this salad, as much as making you eat less, is going to help you in managing your health, in balancing all this as you go on.
Okay, now you talked about, planning And I think that's part of how we can remain healthy during this time. Maybe tips on how we can plan our days and possibly what one can fill up with before. For instance, if you're going for a party in the afternoon, and most of them start around 2:33, how can I fill up healthily so that by the time I get there, I'll still enjoy the, meat or whatever, or the cake that is there, but I've possibly filled up on healthy stuff, and I'm just building on that so that I don't overindulge now in the non-healthy.
Exactly. So if you're at home, like I said, breakfast you're going to take. Just before you get out for the party, you can take something that is a healthy snack. You can have a healthy snack. It could be something like a fruit, maybe an apple. It could be like if you like some desserts that are creamy, or if you like these desserts that you just reduce that. You could chew on a mint. It could be a solid chocolate. Just something that you take is high in energy, low in calories, and it's going to fill you for just that certain period before you go to start eating. Otherwise, if you left your house very hungry, it brings a problem. You could even take something like oatmeal, just at that particular time if you wanted. And the one that really works the most is taking a salad. It could be a light salad, and also drinking lots of water throughout, because water is also an appetite suppressant, such that by the time you get where you're going to, you're not hungry. Your body is not craving. You're not going to salivate for what you see. You'll just now be choosing, now what else can I add, because of tricking your mind and your system by just taking a small snack that is healthy. I think something else that you can do is stock up your house with healthy snacks that you're going to touch on or eat at home. And if you're the one hosting the party, again, coming up with new recipes, healthy recipes. You could decide to grill or to bake instead of deep frying. You could decide to use dressings that are more healthy and low in calories. So instead of using like maybe mayo or something close to that, you can decide to dress your salads with yogurt, maybe the natural yogurt that has, whether it's healthy because it has the healthy flora, and this healthy flora will help with digestion. Because even this particular time when you eat so much and everything of different kinds of foods, we have a tendency of getting bloated, low energy levels, sometimes we may get headaches. So I think also improving the digestion with that, as much as it's going to be a low-calorie dressing, it also helps.
It helps.
Yeah.
Okay, and we concentrate a lot on the food aspect of it when it comes to dieting and also ensuring that we're healthy. But we forget that during these festivities, there's also a lot of drinking. Some of the things that we need to avoid.
Exactly. And unfortunately, we assume that adding weight or getting fat or eating unhealthy is only based on
food.
On the food, on the vegetables, fruits, and the solids that you see. But the soft drinks, you need to be wary about that, and also alcohol. Because when you're going to look at the beverages we're going to serve, I think water should be part and parcel, 90%, lots of water. If you're going to look at the beverages, maybe start with the healthy ones. Ask for fresh juices instead of the soft drinks that are out there. If that is not there, then if you have a soft drink, maybe dilute it with water. Just something to trick so that you're taking less calories, less sugar from these beverages that we just drink throughout. And also alcohol. If you can avoid, just completely
if you
do
can
with
stay
that.
without it, stay
yes,
without
that's
it.
a healthy way.
But those who feel that possibly they
yes, I think lots of water in combination. Alcohol dehydrates your system, and this dehydration, of course, affects you in so many ways. I think rehydrating throughout, looking for low-calorie, I don't know if you have that.
Low-calorie
wines or alcohol. I think, and the best, we always talk about the wines, red wine, very healthy. But take in moderation, of course. And I think avoiding maybe would be okay, but if you must, then take in moderation. Drink lots of water in between, and substitute, not just the whole day or the whole time. It's just on alcohol. You can drink other healthy beverages. You can make even healthy beverages at home that you can carry to the party, or you have them at the party and choose what you want to eat. Water with lemon in between. Not just that if you're thirsty, the only thing that you have to take down your thirst is an alcoholic beverage.
Okay, and now that we're on drinks and beverages, your advice on some of the packaged juice that comes, because you'll find as people are trying to be more healthy, rather than take maybe the carbonated drinks, the sodas and all that, you'll find there's the juice that we have that's well, it's written real juice, but has a lot of additives and sugar. Your thoughts and comments on that and how healthy those juices are?
I think one important thing as I answer is to read labels. When you go out there and you're shopping, and if this juice is written all that, you need to check what else it has. Of course, the best healthy option is just to prepare your own. Get your carrots if you're going to have carrot juice, and make your carrot juice very easily.
That way at least you know it has nothing else
yes,
apart
you
from
know
carrot.
it is what, because again, if you have something on the shelf, even if it's written natural and all that, it means that there's something else that has been done to it for it, because you cannot keep your fresh juice like that for this long period. I think it's better to eat nutrients, not only for beverages, even food in general, just to eat what you know and what you can see on the plate, and then these other ones are just additionals, just in case. So you can just rely on or work on taking healthy beverages that you make yourself, or when you go for the party, just ask for that. If it is not there, then you can trick by taking maybe water with lemon, water with some slices of orange. You know, you can play around and just work out also a healthy beverage if it was not present at that particular time at the party. And then, unfortunately, if you take a lot of sugary foods, inclusive of these drinks, and also if you take all these fatty foods, they make you crave more. The more sugar you take, the more you'll crave for these sugary stuff and sugar-laden foods when you go for the party. The more you take deep-fried foods, the more you'll crave for these deep-fried foods. So I think balancing and reducing that from the beginning will actually help with you maintaining this. I think something else, we also always let ourselves loose and tell ourselves, okay, I'll start dieting in January. Honestly, this doesn't work, because you're now telling your mind, it's Kate, it's time to celebrate. You can eat anything you want.
Anything goes.
Yes, and it gets very difficult if you give yourself a date that from the second comes and you
goes.
do nothing.
And maybe as we wind up, the psychology of staying healthy, I always look at it and I say it's better to say, rather than lose weight, you're gaining health. Just the psychology behind a healthy life and why it needs to be a lifestyle rather than an event.
Exactly. You know, we need to watch. You need to just tell yourself, are you building your health? Are you destroying it? What are you doing to yourself? And then whatever lifestyle you come up with, especially in terms of eating, you're going to eat like that for the rest of your life. You don't eat for a season. You don't eat for an event. And this is something now we are all aware of. There's a lot that is happening, a lot of lifestyle diseases on the increase. So if you work it out as the way you're going to eat for the rest of your life, it means that it becomes part of you. So healthy living becomes very easy, because it's something that you're doing every single day. And if you do not have that continuity to eating well, it becomes very difficult, because you find this month I'm eating like this, next month I've stopped because I'm trying something else. So even during the festivities, even if you're going to serve in that buffet, even if you're going to do to be in a party, you just feel, okay, I eat salad, so I add a little bit of this. I eat healthy, so you put the portions of what you eat. And even if you find that afternoon you are not able to control anything that you're eating, because it was so nice and a lot of things were happening, it's not the end. It's okay. It was only just one day. You don't beat yourself for that. So you know that tomorrow I'll start eating well. I'll continue with my healthy eating program. And again, something else I did not mention, exercising is important. You need to be more active.
Right.
You know, because this is the only way you can burn these extra calories that you're putting in. So even if it means the activities that you're going, even if you can walk after dinner, maybe from one point to another. I know it may be difficult to go to the gym if you can't, but taking advantage of where you are, it could be, most of us, maybe there are those that go to the coast, you can walk across the beach in the morning, even you shall go. There are things that you can do there that can actually help you in burning the extra calories. You need to be physically active as well, so that you burn as you're eating. The key here is not to reduce your metabolism, because if you reduce your metabolism during this time, you'll retain, and in January it will still continue. And you find weight that is added during festivities is very difficult to get rid of. So you continue with it until the end of the year. You continue like that, and it never goes.
All right, Kate, we'll have to wind up there because of time. Thank you for those tips. And hopefully we will be giving you a different story in January and tell you that we did not gain those 2 kilos and we are doing well health-wise. So do make sure that you use up those tips. But for now, would like to wind up, but maybe just to look at some of your comments that have been coming through. And this especially is in regards to the question question that we had asked earlier on, and that is in regards to what we need to do to ensure that we have safer roads as the media. Media is the information channel. This is a tweet that has come through. It's an information channel. Ever had, the tweet continues, but there are other words there. There is nothing that the media can do because they have done all that they can. Okay, well, somebody there feels that we've done that all they can. There are bodies mandated with that, and the media isn't one of them. That's from James Michael. Thank you very much for your comments. Well, that's where we're going to wind up our show this morning. It is now 8 minutes to 9. So from us here on Morning Express, we wish you all a fantastic day. Do stay with us on KTN News. Coming up next, we've got News Center, and there's more news and reviews. Do have yourselves a good day. God bless.